The Lloydminster Chamber is hosting an evening with Canada's 22nd Prime Minister next month. The Right Honourable Stephen Harper is coming to the border city to present on global trade, specifically that of which affects our region. The evening will feature dinner, followed by a presentation from Harper and then a Q&A.
For our businesses and our members, it's important to learn the facts from a high-profile individual like Mr. Harper, and then take appropriate actions to continue to grow economy in this region.
Harper will be in Lloydminster on June 14th. For 45 years, the Furniture Clinic has been a staple in Lloydminster, but as our Brett Holden explains, this year will be its last.
For decades, Larry Olenek and the Furniture Clinic have called 49th Street home. But Olenek says this year will be the last for the store.
The time has come. We've been at this for 45 years. And I thought before the Grim Reaper comes and takes me out of here, I'd kind of leave on my own steam. So it just getting old, getting tired, and it's time to ride off into the sunset.
The furniture company had a humble beginning. After a friend of Olenek's went to upholstery school and wanted to start a business, Olenek, being in the oil field business, was ready to start it with him.
We started up a little shop in behind Arby's to start out with, and small, and kind of eventually kept expanding over the years till we're the size we are here now and in the building we're in presently.
It wasn't only in the 45th year that Olenek and the Furniture Clinic have been thinking of shutting down. In the last few years, Olenek has been looking for somebody to buy the store as well.
We really started trying to sell about 2 years ago. Did have a couple of interested people back when. Hasn't been much developed, so it comes a point in time, how long do you wait, how far do you stretch this out? Unfortunately,
it never came. And by the end of the year, the Furniture Clinic will close its doors for the final time. However, Olenek already has a slight plan on what's next for himself.
Riding off into the sunset on my mule, relaxing and hoping to enjoy a long retirement.
Brett Holden, Newcap News.
Summertime means going for ice cream on a sunny afternoon. However, it's an easy treat to indulge in a little too often. Josh Ryan has more in this week's Healthy Living.
The rush of sugar and cool relief from the hot sun are common reasons to explain the power of craving for ice cream. However, the pull of this classic dessert might go even deeper.
We associate summer with happiness, so we also associate ice cream with happiness. So with that carb rush, that makes us feel good.
That makes this treat a tough one to manage, containing more than 20 grams of sugar for a half-cup serving and questionable ingredients in some brands.
Do you want to be looking at what that label is and then how it fits into your day? So anything in moderation can be a healthy choice. It's just how it fits in.
In addition to managing portion size, using fruit for homemade ice cream is a healthier alternative.
Limit it to 2 times per week and half a cup per serving. There's definitely some healthier options, so doing like frozen fruit and putting it through a press to make your own healthy choice.
Similar frozen items vary depending on the ingredients.
Frozen yogurts can be okay, but I do caution you to read the label because sometimes those are just as bad as the ice creams.
This can also apply to cold drinks like ice caps.
Get them made with milk instead of the cream, because if you order a regular ice cap, it's made with cream.
Some brands of ice cream have added protein, and you can manage nutrients at home, but every snack added will increase sugar intake.
Each of those added in treats can add up, even with the syrups, any chocolate sauce, things like that. You need to take that into consideration as well. And then it comes down to those portions.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
This is Newcap Sports.
The Lloydminster Extreme have spent the first half of their season away from the Civic, but that all changed a week ago when the team returned home, a place it hopes to add to an already very successful season. Lance Phillips with more.
A trait the Extreme have become very familiar with this season is scoring goals. Lots of them. That was on display once again when the team improved its record to 8-2 Wednesday with a 13-9 win over division rival Vermilion Roar. But good offense doesn't come without good defense.
We laid body all night. The big boys really got it done. Offense, it's still a little bit of work in progress, but we definitely found some open guys. Transition was working well tonight, but defense, it really starts off with the defensive end, and if we do a good job there, it definitely translates to the front end.
Our defense this year probably looks double the size as it did last year. We got guys all over 200 plus pounds on the back end, so that helps us out in the offense end, get it up faster and score some more goals.
They're athletic too. They're not just big slugs out there. Like they're 250 plus and they can move. So it's definitely an advantage having big older guys like that can really sew up the defensive end for us.
A 7-goal second period paced the Extreme to their 6th straight win. Goals are being scored in bunches, but missed opportunities are keeping Lloydminster from really exerting its will.
Definitely just the missed passes. There's so many opportunities where we're missing nets, and we're in key scoring opportunities. The pick and roll is working phenomenally. We've been working on it a ton. It's finally paying off, and it's just missing the net and not catching balls we should be catching.
It just seems like this year everyone is scoring, not just 3-4 people each game. It's everyone on offense is contributing to all the goal scoring, and that's helping out big time in every single game.
Maybe the biggest change in the 2018 Extreme is the energy visible on the bench. The team is having fun, and it's being reflected on the scoreboard.
Our team just has a good connection on and off the floor, and it really shows in our games as we have good communication and a positive attitude on the bench.
We're riding high right now. We've got 3 very tough games coming up against top competition in the league. I think we'll gauge it after that. Right now, we're definitely feeling good, but there's definitely room for improvement still.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.
This is Newcap Weather with Gerard Lampa.
Welcome back, everyone. So what we're dealing with as we see the cloud cover rolling in, we see the sun fighting to be out there. The wind is also picking up in advance of this system there, but things are definitely staying on the cool side. Today we're about 8 or even 7 degrees off of the average daytime high temperature, which should be 20, so hitting around 12s, 13s. In the case of Cold Lake, I think they got up to 14 as their daytime high, but the cloud cover is pushing in with this system. So let's put the map into motion, and as we've been showing you, the ridge of the jet stream is collapsing. This is what we're looking at probably around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And you see those bright yellow areas pushing between Saskatoon and North Battleford before it makes its appearance in our area proper. Looks like the heavier set areas stay for eastern Saskatchewan, but we're not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. On the low end, we're probably about 6 to 8 millimeters. On the high end, maybe about 14 millimeters. So maybe just over half an inch is possible again. And some of the estimates for yesterday's rainfall are just around that mark as well. So the lower estimates look like just about a half inch. On the high end, probably about an inch there. Temperature-wise, so again, on the low end, 9 is what we're looking at, so well below the seasonal average of 20. 10 maybe for Marwayne, Bonneville, St. Paul areas. 11 out to Laklabish, 13 to Edmonton. 9 around Wainwright, Provost, and Macklin areas. Heading into the Battlefords proper, just 8 in Maidstone. 13 out to Isla Cross, 10 for Green Lake, 12 in Meadow Lake, 9 in St. Walburg. So certainly on the cooler side, and showers tomorrow right across the region, and probably for the better part of the day too. Some relief is possible on Saturday, because I know we've got outdoor activities on Saturday there. Let's head across the country. A mix of sun and cloud in Vancouver for their 18, 13 out to Edmonton, 10 mainly clear in Yellowknife, just 10, 15 to Whitehorse, coming down to Regina there at 16. Winnipeg is at 18 for a mix of sun and cloud. Heading now to Pearson International in Toronto. They got up to 31 today, back down at 30, but still very hot there. 30 in Quebec, and they were also up at 31 not too long ago. 3 in St. John's, they've got showers, and 23 in Halifax. So you certainly see where the warmer air is, and then just 3 in St. John's, and then -1 out to Iqaluit there. Let's come on back on the prairies. 12 and overcast in the Battlefords, and the cloud cover is sticking around. Could see 7 on the overnights and showers during the course of the day for just 9 as your daytime high. And with the winds northeast and east-northeast at times there getting into the 30k range, and we're already seeing that as the pattern there beginning to shape up. So showers, windy and overcast, the bulk of what Friday is going to give us. 14 for Cold Lake. 5 on the overnights, and looking for just 11 tomorrow with periods of showers tracking in probably later on in the day. And as I said before, some of the heavier pockets are definitely around Saskatoon and tracking into eastern Saskatchewan, and the rest of it will pick up with us here in the Midwest during the course of the day. So we're at 13 at the moment. Looks like we'll settle as that as the daytime high. The wind gusting to about 30 kilometers per hour at the moment. Could see 7 in the early hours of tomorrow morning, which is where we were this morning around 5, 6 o'clock. So we're hanging around those low numbers, and then just 9 is possible, maybe 10 with a push, but with the easterly component of the wind, it'll be a tough ask. So northeasterly winds, east-northeast at times, anywhere from 15 to 20 kilometers per hour, and we're probably on the low end, maybe 6 to 8 millimeters. On the high end, maybe about 14 millimeters. Overcast on Saturday, but much better at 17, and I know the youngsters have some activities planned out at Bud Miller with the Optimist Club. 21 on Sunday, that's looking a lot better. 22 on Monday, back with the showers. 16 Tuesday, 22 Wednesday, 21 Thursday. Brittany, that's a look at it here. Joining you now for Agriculture News.
Another 4-H activity that's gaining traction with young hunters is the Gun Project. In this week's Agriculture Report, Gerard Lampow gets a lesson on the gun range.
And that way the hammer is never on the live round.
While I did not hit the target, these 4-H kids are learning how to shoot and, more importantly, the safety and responsibilities of handling a weapon.
Okay guys, what are the 3 main rules of gun safety? First,
never point a gun at anyone.
Second,
never let anyone point a gun at you.
And third,
always leave the action up and open when not firing a gun.
17-year-old Derek Hrachek is the president of the Vermilion River Outdoor 4-H Club. Before every session, he leads his team in saying the safety rules. Only then can practice begin. Another young hunter is 13-year-old Colt Jackson.
Right underneath it.
Okay. When we come here, we always have to be wearing goggles or glasses and earplugs so that the gun doesn't hurt our ears. And we also need to consider to not point the guns at anyone or always stop people if they're pointing the guns at us.
As much as I tried to hit the target, well, I got an even better understanding of safety. John Betts has been helping out with the 4-Hers since 2006.
There's flags here that you have to change. Red flag is the range is hot. Green flag means it's safe to go downrange, which means everybody at the firing line has cleared their guns.
A specialty event is cowboy shooting.
And we have 2 pistols, a rifle and a shotgun. We keep the 2 pistols in our holsters because we dress up like cowboys. And then they've got the rifle and the shotgun on a table. And there'll be a certain pattern that we have to shoot the targets in.
Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.